The water cycle. Learning target 38. I can follow a water molecule through the water cycle. So let's start by thinking, where is Earth's water? So 75% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. And that can show up in a bunch of different ways. It could be in the ocean, in rivers, in lakes, or wetlands. Some of the water is stored inside the earth as groundwater. So groundwater is water that is collected and stored underground. So it's down underneath the surface. So the water cycle is the movement of water throughout the earth. So this picture here represents the different ways that the water can cycle around. And as you'll notice, there's no starting point and there's no ending point. It's just a continuous cycle and it can go in all sorts of different directions. So we're going to look at the main parts of the water cycle. So one that you might be familiar with is precipitation. So precipitation is solid or liquid water that falls to the earth from clouds. So this could be rain, snow, hail, sleet, any way that water is coming down from the clouds. Our next part is evaporation. So evaporation is water changing from a liquid state to a gas state. So you can see over here in this image, the sun is warming up this water down here, and this liquid water is rising up into the air in a gas state. That's evaporation. And our next one is condensation. So condensation is when the water vapor or the gas in the atmosphere turns back into a liquid. And this is actually how clouds form. When the gas gets together and turns into liquid water droplets, we make clouds. Another spot that you might have seen condensation is in your bathroom. So if you are taking a shower, that's a lot of really hot water. And so that will create gas in your bathroom. And then when that water as a gas hits your mirror, the mirror is really cold. And so that gas will turn back into a liquid. And so then when you get out of the shower, you see that your mirror is all foggy. That's condensation. All right, so some of the more complicated terms that maybe we haven't heard of. The first one is transpiration. So transpiration is evaporation of water, but it's through plants. So the way that I remember this is that transpiration starts with TR and trees starts with TR. So transpiration, trees. So the evaporation through plants. The next one is infiltration. So infiltration is when liquid soaks into the surface of the water. So like when we have lots of snow melting in Minnesota, all of that extra water will soak into the ground. Sometimes the water doesn't go into the ground and then we get flooding. And then the next one is runoff. So that's when we have that excess water that's not going into the ground and it's moving over the surface. And this will end up flowing into some larger body of water. So now that you've completed the notes, you're going to go to the Google form and complete these 3 summary questions. They are number 1, what is groundwater? Number 2, how are evaporation and transpiration similar? And how are they different? And then number 3, how are infiltration and runoff similar? How are they different?